Hey guys, welcome back. So we're working on a 20, I think this is 2022 GB70 2.5 liter. Customer complaint was he has to top up some coolant, right? I found out that our problem is it's leaking from this side here, our radiator for engine coolant. I didn't went through the whole process on removing the bumper. I also removed our air flap because I think I made a video for another GV70 with the radiator for the intercooler. So anyway, I'm just removing our refrigerant right now because it's a kind of tight spot right now. So I have no choice but to remove each one of this radiator, and then we can remove our main radiator here, right? So I'm just gonna go ahead, remove the refrigerant, right, and we'll get back. And I think this one got hit something because this is the part on our shroud at the bottom of the rad. You see that there's some crack on it, right? I think what happened here is, I don't know why there's no damage in the front rad, the intercooler radiator and our condenser, but my assumption is this one got pushed in from the bottom and it made, because this is just plastic here, our upper pipe, right? So I think that one got cracked in there, and yeah, I'm just gonna recover all the refrigerant for this, and then we'll get back. So I'm done with our refrigerant. I'm just gonna remove this line right now. Okay. So we're just gonna remove these two radiator here together. So I'm just gonna remove the line for our water cooled intercooler radiator. Okay, I think there's another hose at the bottom. I think. You know, maybe I can just leave it like that. So next is we're gonna go inside there because we're gonna remove some hoses there for radiator. So I went ahead to remove our airbox. It's just pulled out, so I just took out the loosened this clamp here, and that should be it. And so in order to remove this whole assembly, so we don't have to let it hang in there, this is the hose there that's connected, so we're just gonna remove this guy here, and then I think we're gonna remove our cooling fan too, because that's attached to our rad, and we just have to remove whatever's attached to that cooling fan. Oh man, and then I have to remove this beam support here on the front. I don't want to do that. Okay. So I guess we have no choice but to remove that. So we're gonna remove that because I can't take this out because of this guy. So I think we're gonna remove this. I just have to remove the connection for our front radar, and yeah, it should be just quick and easy. So since we're removing this beam, our front radar is attached to it. So what we can do is we can put a mark on it, right, and on the rad support. Make sure that we put it in the same position, or the proper way on this is to do the calibration, because every time you move this, the angle could be different, you know, just to be safe. So it's either you put a mark and do a recalibration again. So there's 12 mm bolts there, and 4 on each side, and 2 10 mm nuts. What's up? Oh,
Steal it for a couple seconds.
So kamusta moving? Put this aside. Okay, at least you can visually see now the rad, which is good. I think, I don't know if I have more space. I think let's just remove the upper and the lower rad hose, I think, and then we can just remove also the fan, and we can remove this fully, I think. Okay, so I know there's just limited we call that capture here. I don't want to remove this, but anyway, so we're just gonna remove the hoses attached to the car. What do you call that? Hoses attached to our cooling fan, right? And our cooling fan connector is on this side here. So just have to remove that, put it aside. What else? So this hose that's attached, or this pipe, coolant pipe, is attached to our cooling fan. So there's a 10 mm there because the lower part of that hose is attached to our radiator, so we can remove that. There's your bolt there, right? Okay, so I put that connector aside, and then there's 4 bolts holding this cooling fan, so we're gonna remove that. So I'm just using rod shot and 10 mm. So I'm doing right now on the other side. Okay, so here I think it's just a clip. This one has 2. So look for that later. Move the other one here. Oh, so anyway, made a mistake. Two each side, and the lower bottom now it's like a clamp, right? So you can. So once you remove that two bolts on top, you can just lift up the cooling fan. But this one is hitting our upper rad, so we're gonna remove this upper rad. That's that. Okay. So remember, I always say sometimes that with this Genesis models, we got this like a quick connect.
This thing just showed up with
Okay, so we remove our upper hose. We should be able to remove this cooling fan right now. I think there's nothing else in there obstructing, unless I have to remove this AC hose or AC line. I don't want to do that. Come on. Okay, so cooling fan is out now. Just put it aside. Okay, so the other line that we have to remove, oh, that's for the intercooler, the one on the lower hose now. So our lower hose, will be in there. That's why I'm happy that they made that clamp design, because it's very convenient. You just have to flip that one side of the clamp and maybe just wiggle the hose instead of using your clamps or pliers just to take out that hose, right? So I'm gonna remove that. Maybe we can be able to push it or pull it outside from the car, the radiator. Okay, so I remove our lower hose now. As you can see here, it's like a mount for our rad. As you can also see our residue for our coolant, right? So this mount is holding 10 mm. So we're just gonna remove that. So there's two on each side. Put your bolt aside, and then let's pull it out. Oops. So there's another bolt there for I think that's for our AC line, for the bracket. I have to remove that 10 mm. I didn't notice that. The 10 mm is out. So we should be able to pull this guy. Yeah. Then, since the bottom part of this rad is mount, right? So you just have to, once you pull it out like this, pull it up. There you go. So last time when I was pressurizing this cooling system, the leak was coming from this top here. So on this side here, I saw that it was dripping water or coolant last time when I pressurized this. But since everything was covered on the front, I didn't know that this is how bad it is on the front side, right? So we just have to pull this out, this how do you call that, mount. So you get the rubber there on each side, and then so we just pull this out, grab our new part, grab our look at that, it's color green. I think they top it up. They top this off with a different color coolant, but anyway, we're replacing it. So so I just have to remove these hoses here, put in our new one, right? Let me remove this now and grab our new one. As I can see here, also they have this white mark. So I'm just gonna line that up on this notch here on the lower pipe on the rad. So let me grab the new one. Let's see if we need to transfer something or they're just the same. Okay, so here's our new one. Looks like we don't have to change or transfer something. They're both the same, except I think the rubber on the bottom, or they're the same. Okay, so there's no rubber on the bottom, so that's good. Then we'll put this aside. We're gonna put our hose back. And also, especially if you don't use a new clamp or a new hose, make sure the part here, or where this one sits originally, put it in the same location, because if not, the clamping force is not even enough and it will start to leak, right? So as much as possible you put that in the same position so that the clamping of this clamp is even, right? So the lower is done. Oops. I'm gonna do the for our this is the hose that's going to our reservoir. So same thing, just put the clamp in the same position where you remove it. So yeah, I think everything is done. Everything is attached. All I need to do is I'm just gonna spray some water in here just to take out the coolant. Let's move this module here out first. Oops. And then I'm gonna put everything back together. Okay, so I'm just gonna put everything back together, right? In just reverse order, nothing special. And then we're gonna get back again and do our filling mode for the coolant. Alright guys, so I put everything back together. We're gonna use our Think Tool scanner. Let's see if we can do the coolant pump bleeding process, right? So I'm just gonna go through this one. System selection. I'm gonna go to the computer. Then we're gonna go to our special function. And so we got here integrated thermal module coolant filling mode. So we're gonna go inside, and there's the criteria that you have to follow. Okay, current is 22 degrees. Coolant filling mode, coolant injection, replenish. Okay, press OK. Okay, so it's going now, like manual cooling filling mode before starting the engine. So So it's just gonna check. I fill up our coolant here. Fill up our coolant also on this side. So far we don't have any leaks. Let's start the vehicle. Okay, and then we're gonna press OK on this guy. So right now it's gonna go through on this filling process. As I mentioned before too, with these new models, if you don't have the scan tool to do that process, I believe you can also do that manually, right? Just bleeding it, you know, normally. Just watch for the bubbles until it stops. With this one, it forces the module itself, in this case the integrated thermal module, to direct the flow of the coolant to take out most of the air, right? So anyway, so far I checked everything, there's no leak. I hope you enjoyed that video, and see you next time. Thank you for watching.